Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video we are going to learn about how we can apply some of the laws of indices to solve questions of this nature. So let's begin solving. Now you can see that in the very first question we have re-expressed it out. So this is you can see that the bases are not the same. So we can make the bases to be the same. Now we can express 9 as 3 raised to power 2, 27 as 3 raised to power 3. So that would be 3 raised to power 2 into the power x squared plus x times 3 raised to power 3 into x plus 1, and that will be equal to 0. So what we have next is we can expand that. So that 3 raised to power 2 times x squared is 2x squared plus 2x times 3 raised to power 3x plus 1. That will be equal to 0. Now you can apply the law of indices here. The bases are the same. You take 1, you add the powers, so that will be 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 3, and that will be equal to 0. Now, I know some of you will already be thinking that the question is not solvable, but then let us see. So, this is, you simplify the power further, that will be 3 raised to power 2x squared plus 2x plus 3x is 5x. 5x plus 3 is equal to 0. Now, question like this. Now you can see that on both sides this base is 3. Here it is 0. Now, so long as it is 0, there's no base to which there's no base that can give us, there's no base raised to any power that can give us 0. Okay, so now if this had been 1, say for instance 1, we can write it as 3 raised to power 0 to be 1. Okay, so in that case we have that both the base on both sides are equal. But in this case we cannot do that. Okay, we cannot do that. So therefore we can decide to stop here. Okay, now let us proceed to question number 2. Now question number 2 is this. We can have, that is 2 raised to power 0 plus 2 raised to power 1 minus 2x is equals 9 times 2 raised to power minus 1 minus x. So we can see clearly here that 2 raised to power 0 is already 1. Okay, so now this is 1 plus this is the same thing as 2 raised to power 1 divided by 2 raised to power 2x. For this case is equal to 9 times this is everything here we can write this as 2 raised to power 1 plus x all raised to power minus 1. Okay, so what this means is that we can, okay, let us continue this way. So we can write this as okay, let us just repeat that. That is 2 raised to power 1, which is same as 2 over 2 raised to power 2x, and that will be equal to 9 times. Now we can rewrite this as 1 over 2 raised to power 1 plus x, right? So which is, this expression is the same thing as 9 times 1 is 9 over, this is the same thing as saying 2 times 2 raised to power x. Alright, so now we can we can cross multiply. Okay, let us simplify this part first. This part here, the LCM is 2 raised to the power 2x. Alright, 1 into 2 raised to the power 2x is 2 raised to the power 2x. 2 raised to the power 2x times 1 is 2 raised to the power 2x plus, now 2 raised to the power 2x times into this is 1. 1 times 2 is 2, equal to, that is 9 over 2 times 2 raised to the power 2x. Okay, so now we can decide to do the cross multiplication thing. So when we cross multiply, we have that this is again 2 times 2 raised to the power 2x into 2 raised to the power 2x plus 2, and that will be equal to 9 times 2 raised to the power 2x. So now, what do we do next? We can decide to open up the bracket. So this expression here is the same thing as we had before, same thing as x plus 1 into 2x, 2x plus 2 is equal to 9 times 2 raised to the power 2x. So now, if we open up this bracket, we are going to have 2 raised to the power 2x, or let me say this is x plus 1 plus 2x plus, so we'll use this to multiply this. We're going to have 2 raised to the power x plus 1 plus 1, because this is 2 raised to the power 1. Now, and that will be equal to 9 times 2 raised to the power 2x. So, what do we have next? Now, let's simplify this further. That is 2 raised to the power x plus 2x is 3x plus 1, that is 3x plus 1 plus 2 raised to the power, that is x plus 2, and that will be equal to, the right hand side is 9 times 2 raised to the power 2x. Alright, so all we need to do is we can decide to rewrite this you are seeing as, this is 2 raised to the power 3x divided by, times 2 plus, this is ending as 2 raised to the power x times 2 raised to the power 2, which is 4, then it's equal to 9 times, can write this as this. Okay, let's leave it as that, 2 raised to the power 2x. Now we can see that then we can further rewrite this as this one is the same as 2 into 2 raised to the power 3x plus 4 into 2 raised to the power x is equal to 9 times 2 to the power 2x. Now we can rewrite these ones as 2 into 2 raised to the power x, or bracket 3, plus 4 into 2x, and that will be equal to 9 times 2 raised to the power x, or raised to the power 2. So now we can also, then what we do next here is we can let 2 raised to the power x to be equal to a letter, say m. Now, solving further, we have that we substitute m in place of 2 raised to the power x. So that will give us 2. That will give us 2 m cube plus 4m is equal to 9m squared. So if we decide to move this 9m this way, so that will be 2m cubed minus 9m squared plus 4m is equal to 0. So we can readily factorize m out of this expression. So that will be m into 2m squared minus 9m plus 4 is equal to 0. So here we already have that if the product of this and this gives us 0, so we know that m is 0. So to do that, the first value of m is 0, or this second one, 2m squared minus 9m plus 4 is equal to 0. So what we are going to do next is to try to factorize this quadratic expression. And how do we do that? We use the first term to multiply the last term. That is 2m squared times 4, and that will give us 8m squared. So we'll look for two factors such that we'll multiply them together. We're going to get 8m squared. That's two factors in n. We'll multiply it, we're going to get 8m squared. And when we add them, we're going to get minus m. So obviously factors will be minus 8m times minus m. That will give us 8m squared. Okay, so because when we add them, minus 8m minus m is minus 9m. So we are going to substitute these values, minus 8m minus m in place of 9m. So that will be 2 2m squared minus 8m minus m plus 4 is equal to 0. So now we can factorize this. So the common factor here is 2m into this 2m squared divided by 2m is m minus 8m divided by 2m is 4. So minus, the common factor here is, nothing is common, so it's 1 into m minus 4 is equal to 0. So we put this into brackets. We have this and this as common. So that is m minus 4 into 2m minus 1, and that will be equal to 0. So we factorize it, so we can say either this is equal to 0 or this is equal to 0. So we say either m minus 4 is equal to 0 or 2m minus 1 is equal to 0. So what that means is we can have that m is equal to 4 in this first case, or we move this way, 2m is equal to, when this crosses it becomes 1. So and therefore divide both sides by 2. So we have in this case that m is equal to 1 over 2. Now we have seen that the first value is m is equal to 0. The second value is m is equal to 4, and the third value is m is equal to half. But remember, we are not looking for the values of the value of n. We assume 2 raised to power x to be equal to m, so that we can be able to solve this equation. So now what we are going to do is to substitute the value of n back. So now what we are going to have is, we already know that 2 raised to power x is equal to m. So now when m is equal to 0, so what will the value of x be? That will be 2 raised to power x is equal to 0. In this case, there will be no solution for x. Alright? What about when m is equal to 4. Now we can have that 2 raised by x is equal to 4. Now in this case, you can see that you can express 4 as 2 raised by 2. So that will be x raised by 2 raised by x equal to 2 raised to power 2. So the bases are the same, so we compare the power. So we'll say therefore x is equal to 2 in this case. So now what about when m is equal to half? The third case, if m is equal to half, so they will say 2 raised by x is equal to 1 over 2. And we can re-express this, bringing this 2 raised by 1, bringing it up, we have 2 raised by x to be equal to 2 raised by minus 1. So in this case, we can see that the bases are the same, so we have to compare the powers. Now in doing that, we have that therefore x is equal to minus 1. Right? So this video is becoming too long, but that's what it is. That's how to solve it. Now if you find this video useful, I want you to comment, share your thoughts with me, tell me what you feel. Then don't forget to click on the notification bell icon below so that you get notified each time I upload content like this. And don't forget to subscribe, smash the subscribe button below, the red subscribe button below, so that we can grow the channel together. So without much ado, I will catch you in next one. Bye bye.